Years ago, before I was even born, before the zoo was even open, my parents started letting their animals be used to celebrate this event. We start in November and go through the Christmas season. It's a long evening for all of us, but it's worth it. We start by rounding up the cow and donkey. For this nativity, my mom is part of the crew. I suggest that we start with our donkey and then our cow.
I think the donkey's going to be the easiest.
I think the emus are jealous. Hey mate, we ought to go on a road trip.
Try to catch a donkey down here in this corner.
Okay.
This being a 3 Bradley production, this shouldn't be too hard. We herd them into the corner.
Oh.
And voila, we've got the cow and the donkey. That was almost too simple. If it was a wet, rainy day, it would have been much harder. And we've had our share of wet, rainy events. They must be itching to go somewhere, because it's never this easy.
Normally, when we try to catch the cow,
he takes off running.
He takes off running, and despite stepping in front of him, he continues to run and flattens one of us into the mud. And the funny thing is, once he's got a halter on, like Kashtan has led him through hundreds and hundreds of churches. Like, he's the sweetest thing in the world. He just doesn't like to be caught.
Then, once they're caught, they still have to let us put a halter on them. But after that, we're on our way. These guys were great. I hope the camel is as easy. After we get the cow and donkey out, I drive the cart while Mom and Dad just hold on to the ropes. It's the quickest way to get them to the camel perch. Once we make it to Persh's exhibit, the approach is everything. Dad hands Mom the lead rope, which she'll click on once her halter is in place. You notice Dad has his hand out. He points and Persh follows. She's pretty good at following directions, sometimes. I think she's not quite sure what we're all up to. It's been a long time since she's gone anywhere. And now it's time for some camel wrestling.
Yep.
Persh gave Dad a workout. Mom comes in for some backup to get the halter on. This has turned out to be a 2-person job.
Nice one,
That,
Dad.
my friends, is how you ride a camel.
Nice ride, Dad.
Oh, baby. Now, this camel here is a pretty young camel, so she's only done 1 year of nativities. She was on the road last year for the month of December, so it's all kind of new to her.
Looks like Dad's getting to spend a little up-close and personal time with Persh. She seems to like it. Persh is always one for a good scratch. Glad she's not a spitter. Since this hitchhiker is a little too big to sit beside Dad, we'll just go really slow and give Persh some time to enjoy the scenery. So far, so good. Now that's a way to walk a camel. We have rabbit mode and turtle mode on our carts, but now we're adding a new mode. You guessed it, camel mode. The blue and gold macaws are getting a little different scenery too. Was that a camel I just saw? Yeah, he must have decided to break out with the cow and donkey. I think she's enjoying her walk. She's really taking in the view. It looks like she notices the macaws too. I wonder if Persh remembers her nativity last year, or if this is all new to her again. We ended up walking our cow and donkey to the parking lot separately. Now they're all together, and they'll share the large trailer. Getting the animals ready takes a little bit of time on this end.
This is one of our young Bactrian camels. She's a 4-year-old, so still a young camel, and she just has a sweet disposition. Not all camels are cut out to be nativity camels. You know, a lot of times if we're training a camel to do nativities, we bottle raise that camel, and it's used on a halter from the time it's born. And a lot of nativities will have like one of these babies with us. It's just in training. But Persh was just a calm camel. And last year I thought, well, let me try her at a few nativities, see if she likes it. Because sometimes the camels don't even like it. She enjoys the crowd, and it's a road trip and something different. You know, see some different scenery for a little bit. So she did the nativities last year. I think she did 12 last season. This will be the only one she's done this season, but she did a good job last year, and she'll be fine. We've even had her inside some churches last year, so she did indoor as well as outdoor. Tonight's an outdoor event where she's just standing. When we're working a camel inside a building, there's a whole lot more to that, making sure that the people around are safe, that the camel's safe. And she did a big event in a building last year for 5 nights in a row and did a great job.
It's cold tonight, but that won't bother Persh. She can handle the weather.
So there's 2 species of camels. You have the Bactrian camel, which has 2 humps. Easy to remember because a letter B has 2 humps in it. But the Bactrian camel is from the area of Asia. They're found in the Mongolian desert. There are about less than 500 left in the wild. They're an endangered species. And then we have the dromedary camels. Again, easy to remember. A D has 1 hump in the letter D. So dromedary camels have 1 hump. Those are more from the Middle Eastern area as well as Australia. Camels have long eyelashes, and those eyelashes help to keep that sand out of their eyes, longer than most mammals would be. They also have specially designed nostrils so that when there's sandstorms in the desert, these camels can hunker down, they can close those eyes, and then they can close the nostrils enough to keep all the sand out of their lungs to protect their lungs, but also to allow them to breathe as well. Then you also look at the coat, the fur of camels. That heavy fur insulates them in the summertime as well as keeps them warm in the wintertime. Because in the desert it can get quite cold. In the Gobi Desert, for instance, it can get to -40 as well as get up to 120 during the day. So the camels will shed off some of that fur, not slick like a horse, but much less. And then the Bactrian camels especially can grow up to 9 inches of fur for the winter season.
Even though Persh is designed for extreme conditions, we here at the zoo want all our traveling animals to be comfortable. We do a couple of things to get their trailer ready to go.
We also put fresh shavings in the trailer. It's just some extra bedding, a little bit of extra cushion. The trailer's got rubber mats inside, so that's a nice cushion for the animals to stand on while they're riding. We also put this bedding in. It's kind of an absorbent for when they use the bathroom in here as well.
It takes a little bit to get the shavings smoothed out.
Works best inside the trailer.
Dad finishes up spreading out the shavings, and then Persh, being the biggest, goes in first. The macaws sure are giving her a loud goodbye. Sorry, parrots aren't part of the nativity. With just a little bit of encouragement, she's ready to go in. Now to quickly brush their coats and pick their hooves, then we'll get them inside.
Everybody's getting their nails did and stuff. That way they look pretty. When Jesus was born, I doubt they were all cleaned up, but for nativities, we try to get them a little clean.
Bo's turn.
His lead, yeah, but not his
Good job, Bo.
not his halter.
To be 20 years old, you still can jump in the trailer. There, I'll just jump in. Back. Back. Jump over.
Unlike Persh, this donkey here knows the ropes. She has been to many nativities, but she is a donkey and donkeys move at their own pace. With just a little coaxing, she'll be in. Okay, all present and accounted for. Now it's time to lock up the trailer and we are good to go.